Here at PPPL, the Science Education Department focuses on public engagement and workforce development, inspiring the next generation of fusion and plasma scientists and engineers and so many other careers that it takes to make research in this field happen. We bring in students from all over the region, but also all across the country. Princeton University's motto is "in the service of humanity," and we take that very seriously. We should be a resource for the community and part of the community that we're in. The students, we're hoping that they are inspired and feel connected to the research that we're doing and feel like they could be a part of this whole effort. And so maybe that's the start of their career in plasma and fusion sciences. I think a lot of the scientists here at the lab got their start similarly. Nobody wakes up at 10 years old and says, I want to be a plasma physicist, unless they've met a plasma physicist. So we have a huge suite of programs in the Science Education Department and across the lab. So we're doing a lot of work with the American Physical Society and teachers across the country to get plasma physics into schools. It can be used to teach all kinds of things that they already teach. I think that will bring more folks to the workforce and get people's support. There have been a lot of recent breakthroughs, so this is why we're putting a lot of our effort into workforce development. We need engineers, we need technicians, we need science communicators, we need all of these people to come together and make this happen, because it is happening now.